Hi, this is David again. This is a video that I've wanted to do for a couple of days and about 64 years. I've told most of you, if you've read my education, you know I graduated my undergraduate from Brigham Young University. And I graduated there in 1972 in child development and family relations. And that was my minor, and my major was social work. And I began in my uh, practicum to deal with emotionally disturbed children, which I did the rest of my life, professional life. So, well, the rest of my life, 'cause I got two out there. Don't tell them. But anyway, I wanted to do a BYU video because I think I've discovered something. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But when I do my demographics, 83% of my hits are coming from Utah females. Now, that's a lot of hits from one area. That's my most popular viewing audience. I never wanted that. I still don't want it. I'd rather be international, but I'm local. So, my fame and fortune is in Utah, as usual. Let me talk to the BYU girls, because I never did that when I was at BYU. I was always chasing them and hoped the wind would blow and their dress would go up. Anyway, I don't know if you have a older male mentor or not. Hopefully your dad is a person who can advise you and help you and wish for your best and tell you the truth about life, and then of course let you use your free agency and make your own decisions. I noticed that the demographics bouncing off of YouTube, some of them are coming out of BYU, and that's a compliment, I think, and it's also a curse. It's also a responsibility. When I have young people watch me, I talk to a more mature audience usually, but I went to BYU. I know BYU, and I know how it thinks and how the girls feel at BYU. There's about 10 or 15% of the girls at BYU that do 90% of the dating. Now that's an interesting statistic, because if you're a girl and the boys don't seem to be chasing you, you're not alone. Most of the other girls are in your same situation. 85% of you are not dating or not dating that much. Now that can be depressing. I personally don't like a society where the men are in charge, that they can say to a woman, you know, you're too fat, you're too ugly, you're too stupid, and this one's cuter and she gives me sex, so you're dog shit, so, you know, you just live alone and have a miserable life and no mate. The only information that I would part with the BYU girls is that you're obviously the cream of the crop in the Mormon Church. The bishops don't send stupid girls to BYU. And you've gone through a long ATC process and a long grades and background and playing in the band and playing the piano. Oh my God, you're some of the most talented girls in the world. And when you go to BYU, you think there's going to be a whole bunch of returned missionaries that are going to be chasing you, and you're there to get married, many of you. And it doesn't turn out that way. A lot of those missionaries that are coming home marry the first girl that has a vagina. They don't date, they don't really get to know the girls very much, and they figure she's ready to go to the temple, and they're ready to have sex, so they marry her. Well, feel pretty good about that, because some of those people are abusers. Some of those men that come home like that just want to jump the first girl that comes into their life, they many times are abusers. So you're avoiding a lot of those kind of guys. Here's what I would say, and it's just like I would talking to my daughter, which my 13-year-old I talk to all the time, like this. You want to be a girl. It's neat. It's neat to be a girl. You look different. You act different. Your voice is higher. You're sometimes sillier. You're moody. You're an extremely unique creature. Men are very different. Men are very different. You think differently than we do. You're more gentle. You're more kind. You're more nurturing. You're more spiritual, if you want to use that word. There are many, many qualities that a woman has that are outstanding. Now, here's the sadness, I guess, in life, but it's exacerbated at BYU, is that there's so many girls that are so beautiful and were cheerleaders and models, and oh my God, they just they're gorgeous girls, and you might be a little bit more of a plain Jane or just an average looking girl, and yet you have 10 times the personality and the talent of those blondes. I don't mean to be picking on blondes, and girls that just don't have a lot inside, but boy, outside they're sharp, they're hot outside. And men are stupid. Men are stupid. They go for the looks. I can't stop that, ladies, and you basically can't either. There's a lot of men, and the reason a lot of the women in the world will marry an older man is that we get over that. We look more for the personality. We look more for the quality of the human being. When a boy is 24, 26 years old, he's looking for, a girl that's just hot and wants to, have sex all the time. And she wants a missionary because that's what her parents taught her. And so the two of them hook up and they're miserable the rest of their lives. So, what do you do? And this is what I've told my girls. And I'm comfortable. My girls, I've said, get a damn education. Don't drop out of school to marry or have a baby. That will be your biggest mistake of your life. I know it's popular at BYU, and once you get married, you get pregnant within the first, 24 hours. And then, of course, you have a baby, and you can't do the homework and carry the baby to class, etc. And you end up letting him finish his school, and you work over at McDonald's and help him get through school. Well, that works okay for a few years. He gets an education. You're married to a college-educated man, and he's starting a business or is going into a partnership or whatever, and you're being pulled along with his coattails. Well, pretty soon he gets you pregnant again, and again, and again, and again. Pretty soon your body looks like shit. Your boobs are hanging down to your knees. Your vagina is so loose, he's got to tie a 2x4 on his butt so he doesn't fall in. Pretty soon you got cheeks that are fatter than the other cheeks on your butt. Pretty soon you can't even get into a car comfortably. Pretty soon you're eating your life away. When you hear the word buffet, your eyes get big. And, he has to get a pillow and a blanket because you're going to be in there all day. You're sitting home with 5 little kids screaming and yelling, tearing the crap up out of your house. You don't have time to do your hair. You don't have time to go and get your nails done. You don't have time to go out with your girlfriends. You don't have time to go to the library or to develop your art or your singing or whatever else you brought to the marriage. And pretty soon, you're just, a fat lump on the couch who is a caretaker of a whole bunch of little monster kids. Well, whose fault's that? Whose fault's that? He comes home, he's dressed in a nice suit, he's driving a nice car, and when he puts your ass in the car and 9 kids bouncing on the back seat, and he's cruising town, and now you're all 26, 28 years old, he's still kind of looking out those little tight skinny jeans, and then he looks over in the seat and goes, whoa, whoa. Then pretty soon, there's a possibility. It's more like a probability, because the Mormon statistics in temple marriage are not that much better, only by a few percentage points better than 50% of the people getting divorced in the United States. The Mormons are like 48%. So pretty soon, you don't want to have sex because, it's like climbing Mount Everest for him. And, you're not going to be on the trapeze anymore. And God, the mirror over the bed, he's going to cover with a sheet. Look what you've done to yourself. All in the name of a cult and a religion that isn't true. You have been screwed. Now, he decides to divorce your ass because he's found a little 18-year-old at work that they've been having lunch together, and then pretty soon they went to a movie together, and then pretty soon he comes home and he says, there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is that I love my children and I love you. The bad news is I want a divorce and I'm going to marry Cynthia. And then Cynthia will be your children's mother on visitations. And now you got shit. You got a fat, ugly body. You got a bad attitude. You're eating yourself into oblivion. Your kids are calling the cute mom mommy because she can still go to the park with him and run and play ball. You can't even get out of the house through a 36-inch front door opening. Who made you that way? Well, I blame the Mormon Church a little bit. In fact, I blame the Mormon Church a lot. Women are second-class citizens, and you do get taken advantage of. You are baby machines. And once you have destroyed the attractiveness of your husband or your mate, there's a chance he's going to look somewhere else. And at this particular point, your low self-esteem is so low, half the time you don't give a rat's ass. But then you find out you don't have an education. You can't get a job. Try walking down to a law firm or a CPA firm or a healthcare agency weighing 350 pounds in a dress that doesn't fit you, and you can't find Omar the tent maker to make you a bra and go in with a smile and no damn resume and no damn education. Girls at BYU, let me be a voice of reason, a voice of comfort, hopefully, and a voice of truth. Finish that degree. Finish it. Your husband will love you more. Postpone having kids. The Hinkster and Monson are not in charge of your vagina. You are. You let that sperm go up in there and you end up with a baby. Now you feel like you're part of the Mormon community and your baby's cute. Yeah, the first baby is cute and you still do have a nice tight little butt. Not on the fourth or fifth one. There is prestige in the Mormon community for a woman to have 4 or 5 kids. Throw Cheerios at them on the pew during sacrament meeting and try to control a million things that are going on and try to be a good mom. Pretty soon you become mentally ill. Pretty soon you become screaming and yelling and ugly because they're screaming and yelling and ugly. You don't have any resources, BYU girls. You have a shit life. I go and pick my kids up at elementary school. I have a 9-year-old. I can't tell you how many fat-ass women I see trying to go into that school, barely getting through the doors, carrying 3 or 4 babies and picking up a kindergartner. Their life is shit. It's shit. Their cars are filthy. They wear, sack dresses. You can't buy Levi's that big, I feel sorry for them. I've gone to some of in fact, I go most of the school things with the kids. And of course, the girls from BYU and the Mormon background, they have little dishes that they make, and they're so talented at putting decorations up and making a nice event. But their lives are miserable. Utah's #1, ladies, in prescription drug addiction. Okay, that's Prozac, that's Ambien, that's Valium. The women in Utah, once they're over 30, 35, are so miserable, they can't even function without drugs. Now, those of you that I'm talking to right now, most of you are probably not on any anti-depression drugs. You're probably coming from a pretty normal background. Some of you might have a few things that go on, but It's not like these women in Utah. Utah is the #1 state of prescription drug abuse, and Utah's #3 in abuse of children. You've got too many. You're screaming and yelling. You're trying to be a sergeant, and they're like flies. You can't hold them down. I know. I got 14 of them. They're like flies. And you do scream, yell, slam doors, threaten. You know, I'll rip your arm off and beat you with your arm. You know, crazy stuff that we sometimes say and do to children. You got too many. You got them too fast. You ruined your body, and you don't have an education. Now, if you slow those kids down, maybe don't have one until you graduate, he graduates, now you have an even playing field. You're still desirable because you make money. You could get a job. You may want to stay at home with the kids, but you may get a job and get a babysitter. And then you have 1 or 2 kids, and that's fun, and you get to raise children, and your body is still in good shape. You have enough money to go to the gym. You know, if I had a penny, if I had just 1 penny for every Mormon girl that buys a treadmill or rubber bands that, you know, they hook on the door, or, you know, jumping this and gooka booka this and dance this, and my God, it is a multi-million-dollar business in Utah, girls trying to lose weight. Why? They're having too many babies. The babies are coming too fast. They don't have enough money or time to go to a gym or go swimming, and when summer comes, all the other little girls get in their bathing suits, and your husband's going, whoa, whoa, and you're sitting over there, and you look like you're in the 1930s with some kind of a sheet hanging on you, like, you know, from Arabia, and you're so fat, you couldn't even get out of the pool. You know, you'll float good like a whale while you're in there, and, you know, you'll be moving around and swimming, these young girls jumping over you, and, you know, they have held on to their youth, and hopefully they don't go down this road of no education, abuse, from a husband that'll say, boy, you really are getting fat and ugly. Oh my God, you have to keep buying new clothes? Look at that. Oh, your garments are size XXXX 99. Well, you know, the garments don't make you beautiful to start with, and eventually the Mormon women use those to hide behind and cover themselves up because they're so out of shape and fat. It's not just the physical body. It is the emotional part of you too. You were young, you were healthy, you were desirable. You went to a beautiful university and you've got a good education, you come from a good family, and suddenly your self-esteem just goes down, 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 because everything around you is falling apart. Pretty soon, you know, you're depressed. You've got too many kids. They've come too fast. Your husband is never home because he's trying to work 2 jobs. You're not worth shit for employment. You can't even get to McDonald's. You know, the drive-up window, you can't even get your hand through because it's pushing the Big Mac back into your mouth. And then you take a couple of prescription drugs and go, hey, I'm a happy Mormon. I'm a happy. So BYU girls, you got a lot going for you right now. Don't let anybody, the Mormon Church, a mate, or even your father, your bishop, I don't give a shit who they are. You focus on you. You be as beautiful as you can be. And I've always said the most beautiful thing a girl can do is smile. That makes her more desirable to men than any clothing or any other item, makeup, whatever. You be a good person. You don't have to wear your dress down to your ankles and look like shit. Because, oh, I have a vagina, and I've been terrorized of having a vagina my whole life. It's great having a vagina. Not that I know, but I have an imagination. So, ladies, you're young, you're healthy, you're desirable. Put your makeup on, do your hair nice, smile, be friendly to people. It'll happen. Somebody like me, perhaps. I used to be marrying just to cheerleaders. That's all I married was cheerleaders. In my old age, I have now looked for maturity and mental stability and wives that I really want to be the mother of my children, and wives that are talented, are sweet, can work, have an education. They're equals. They're equals. They're truly a helpmate. and they help me, and together we make the decisions. I'm not the final decision maker in the family. That doctrine is shit. That doctrine is shit. When you're married, it is equal. It's only unequal in the Mormon Church. My wife handles all the bills. My wife she has 2 new cars. They're in her name. She has a new condo. It's in her name. She works full time. And all the money that she gets is hers. She shares it with the family and whatever. But I trust her. And we're helpmates to each other. When you marry a Mormon man and he insists that he has the last say in the family, you need to say, you know what? I'm going out the front door, and that's my last say. Well, be sweet, be kind, be positive. Don't be jealous that other girls are dating, or, gosh, she's got such beautiful hair. You have talents and skills too. I tell my girls all the time, this one girl, my daughter calls her Barbie. She's in her theater class, and everyone falls all over Barbie. And she's got the long hair and the blue eyes, and she can't do theater worth shit. But all the boys, they think, oh, that's what I want. My daughter takes hip-hop dance lessons, and she goes down there, and there's another little Barbie blue eyes. We have a lot of those in Utah, and she can't dance worth shit. She's been there 1.5 years, 2 years. My daughter is #1 in the class, and she's only been dancing 2 months. You have talent, and you have skills and ability that if you just be yourself, enjoy your life, get some hobbies, do some things that are unique to you, things that you can continue after you have children and after you get married. Don't be taken advantage of by any man. He is not going to come on a white horse. He may, be a turd with 4 legs. You're going to have to get to know these men and find out how they treat you, and are they going to let you continue your life. Don't trust them to drop out and have their babies. You will be drug addicted. You will be obese. Utah, I'm trying to think. I think Utah is 2nd or 3rd in obesity in the United States. #1 in prescription drug addiction. 3 in child abuse. And #1 in bankruptcy, because all these missionaries think that they should be able to come home and stay in a suit. I had to work in construction clothes for many years before I earned getting into administrative positions. So ladies, I've never had a chance. And what a wonderful experience that, I'm old now, and you're cute as hell. You're just cute as hell. I love to go down on the BYU campus, and it brings back, I was on the ballroom dance team, and I wasn't that good. I was like 2nd or 3rd string, and I never went to Europe. I fantasized about going to Europe, but I used to, when I drove bus, I took Jamie, what's her name, Jamie Thompson, I'm sure she's dead now, that had the program bureau and went all over the western United States and did things. You're so talented. You dance, you sing, you play the harp, you fly like angels, you talk like angels. Don't let this Mormon church ruin your life by telling you you're inferior, that the man has the last say. He's the priesthood holder. Let me tell you what I really believe about the priesthood holder. First of all, you've seen my videos. I'm an atheist. I was a Mormon for 50 years, and I was Christian for a while, and then, virgin births and gold plates. Just, I can't take either one right now. Be yourself. Use your talents and your abilities. Get a good education. I think the reason your church, if you're Mormons, say that the men have the priesthood is because I think the men need the priesthood. I think, and I always thought this in the church, the women don't need the priesthood. I have seen more children healed in the arms of a mother that I have ever seen oil on somebody's head and men going, the Lord loves you, and if you die, you have a mission on the other side. Bullshit. I've seen the nurturing of females touching infants and children and adults that heal them. Men have the priesthood because they're assholes. They won't behave unless somebody says, oh, that's unbecoming to a priesthood holder. How many times do you have to say to a girl, oh, that's unbecoming to a woman? You don't. They're wonderful people. They're wonderful human beings. And so I think the bozos have the priesthood in your church because they are bozos. And I think you don't need the priesthood. You holding a baby and nurturing it and holding it through the night will heal that baby a hell of a lot faster than magic oil and two men that don't know anything about you or your family, and they were probably just screwing the girlfriend when they went out last week with their wives, and they're on the high council. So, and I'm not exaggerating. I had one lady write in and say that's exactly what happened to her. So ladies, be yourself. Don't let any man ever rule over you. You are equal. You are exactly equal, and basically you're superior in many areas. You're the socialite. You're the one that gets the parties, and people like you, and you take care of the children. And I'm not stupid anymore. I used to manage the money in our family, and I managed us into the house of poverty. I let my little wife now, and she's from the Philippines. Whatever it's been 5 years ago, we wrote the first check she had ever seen in her life in the Philippines, and she said, "We don't write checks in the Philippines." She had no idea how to write a check, and because I was an American, they let me write a check there. And the Filipinos say taking a check from a Filipino is pretty similar to taking a check from a Mormon. You can bounce it real easy. She's only been here 4 or 5 years. She's never had a credit card, never had a job, never bought a car, never bought a house, knew nothing about FICO scores, didn't know how to move any money on a computer, didn't speak the language. This girl now does it all. And so can you. So can you. If you're better at the money, then you tell your husband, screw you. We're not buying any more guns this month, and no, we're not buying another airplane. And these kids need to eat, and here's the budget. Do it. You know, my wife told me the other day, and it's hard. It's hard for us men, especially us older guys. We're used to just, kicking ass. We're used to doing everything our way. But my wife now says, you spent too much money at Desert Industries. Don't go over there anymore. Now, how can you spend too much money at Desert Industries? What is that, $35? That's what we pay for lunch. And I was insulted. I go, wait a minute. Hey, you know who you're talking to? I do. I go, shit, I thought it would be somebody else. So this week, I didn't go over to Desert Industries. I hate to say that, but she was right. I was wrong. That is very hard for a man to do. And the same way, I have a new car that she got me. And if I drive it too much and the gas is too expensive, don't you go anymore this week. You need, okay, so I can't drive my car. I can't go to Desert Industries. And I take the baby over to 7-Eleven after school, and she's spoiled. And I let her buy a Slurpee. And then it comes in on the credit card, and my wife goes, no more Slurpees. Now, girls, listen to me, okay? I was the man of the house for, 45, 50 years, and I spent what I wanted to spend. Screw you, the wife. You're just, the babysitter and my sex object. Well, in my old age, I figured out I'm not that good at the money. I wouldn't apply for a credit card because anywhere I applied, the handcuffs would come out of the machine, and I'd be gone. Now, since I married her, we don't have the bills. I don't owe the IRS a cent. And I have car insurance. Do you know I drove almost 40 years? Car. I couldn't afford car insurance. I was giving it to the Mormon Church. And gosh, we have dental and we have medical, and when the kids are sick, we have medicines. We don't just pour oil on them and bless them and hope to God we don't have to pay $100 to the doctor. So ladies at BYU, I love you. I just think you're the most fabulous group of women in the world. I hate to see what the cult does to you. I hate to see what the cult does to your husbands, and then your husbands pass it on to you. Be yourselves. Be your beautiful selves. If you're chubby, be chubby. I don't care if you're chubby. I'd marry a chubby girl now. Back when I was 26, if you weren't the head cheerleader, not just the cheerleader, you had to be the head cheerleader. hey, this is cool. Well, I married a couple of those, and they're damn dumb as a rock, and I had to do all the bills and the cars, and I've seen it with my own eyes. If you give a woman a chance to be equal in a relationship, you truly have a loving, kind, good relationship. When you put one person over the other, I don't care if you think God himself told you that's true. It's not true. It will destroy the other person's self-esteem. And they'll plan and plan and plan, and then they can't follow through on their plans because the priesthood holder goes, no, you can't go out tonight with your girlfriends. I have to teach a lesson. You have to watch the kids. My little wife can leave here anytime she wants. She's got brand new cars. She has credit cards. She has cash. She has her clothes. She has her girlfriends. And she can go to parties. She can go to the movies. She can go down to Temple Square. She still likes that kind of thing. Anywhere she wants to go, she can go. And it's a real relationship. And I don't tell her, she'll come to me and say, you know, if something is $35 or $50, we'll usually talk with each other before we buy it. But she wanted to buy a Christmas tree yesterday. I said, we have a Christmas tree. Why do we need two? She said, well, the other one is it's white, and we have a green one. One year I'd like to have white, one year I'd like to have green. Well, how much is it? See, I'm always looking for that old priesthood and those old triggers that I'm in charge. I have the penis. Well, I used to. Anyway, she said, well, it's $20. What do you think? Now, she works full time. She stands full time, 8 hours, 9 hours a day. Doesn't she have a right to just buy something that makes no sense? I think she does. I did not buy it. I don't care. Buy it. Then you can store both of them, take the, oh, okay. Happy as a lark. If she wants to buy certain boots for winter, she's the one that has to walk in the snow. I just sit here and do videos. Don't let him be selfish to you. Don't let him rule over you. And I don't care if he's buff. I don't care if he's the most handsome thing in the world. Someday he's going to look like this. And it's the way he treats you and the way he loves you is what you're buying. You're not buying, you know, return missionary. That's another word for horny as hell. You're not buying a priesthood holder. He has no more power than you do. And like I said, I've seen more kids healed with moms holding them like you than I've ever seen with holy oil and, you know, the silliness that they go through. So enjoy BYU. I had a blast there. I enjoyed it there, and on the dance team, and I taught ballroom dance. And I have to warn you. I have to be fair. I have to warn you. I was a ballroom dance teacher. I taught Latin American and social. I have 5 or 6 units a week, and I had thousands of BYU girls come through there, and most of them are just as cute as can be. And I would always choose one of the girls. I could look down the line and see one that really could dance well, and I'd have her come up and be my dance partner and turn her around so the girls could see their steps and the boys could see their steps. Be careful, girls, because I was married and I had one baby. I had 2 babies. And my wife was working over at McDonald's and helping me get through school. And things got out of hand. This one little gal, very few girls in the world that I'm attracted to. There's pretty girls everywhere, but there's very few that attract me. And this one did. And pretty soon, we were doing exhibition dancing together at BYU, and then we were going to Salt Lake and doing competition dancing there, and we were together, and sure enough, it turned into a regular relationship. And now, you know, even though I didn't have intercourse with the girl, you know, everything but intercourse, that wasn't being true to my wife, and that was certainly, in my opinion, adultery. And I felt guilty, and I went home and I told my wife, and she said, you know, I want a divorce. And I, okay. So be careful, girls. Be careful. There's many traps out there, especially in Mormonism. There's many, many bear traps, and boy, once they snap on your foot, you can't shake them off. So be careful. Just because I was a BYU adjunct professor, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean I didn't have a penis. It doesn't mean that I can be not overwhelmed by a beautiful girl. That happened once when I was 22. It's never happened since, and I've learned my lesson on that. But You are beautiful and you're very desirable, and you have got to run your own damn life. Your husband is a mate. He helps you run your life. He helps you do your hobbies and your interests. He watches the kids while you go out with your girlfriends and have some freedom, or go running or mountain climbing or skiing, whatever you did. You know, if you're 350 pounds and you decide to go skiing, you're not even going to be allowed on the chairlift. Think about it. Think about it. You're important. You're a BYU graduate. Don't drop out of school. It's the kiss of death. That will ruin your life. Thanks.